Hey guys, I'm UnoPro. This is my first Duel Champions video, and today I'm going to be versing Cucu99 in a cat mirror. I'm using fellow A1 member M&M vs Smarty's deck, 544 cat, as will be in the description below. I have the fortune of going second in this game, which is huge for stronghold mirrors, but Cucu does have a really nice curve that will allow him a decent shot to win. So let's get into it. So he starts off perfectly with the Goblin Scout, just increasing his might. Standard play here of Storm Mage Hunter to block the Goblin Scout, forcing it to move. He then plays his own Storm Mage Hunter and moves his Goblin Scout. Now he plays it in the front row, which may be a little unusual. This would indicate to me that he has a shooter to play behind it. Now I make a bit of a mistake here. I choose to attack the other Storm Mage Hunter, which just pushed me in a really awkward spot for later turns, and I didn't really consider Cucu's next move, which is to move the Storm Mage Hunter back and then play an elephant in front of it. Now this leaves me really awkward, as I have no good way to deal with the elephant apart from Sacrificial Altar, which still won't allow me to kill the Storm Mage Hunter. Now Cat has very good removal in Insect Swarm and Sacrificial Altar, but what Cat lacks in is very cheap removal just to deal 1 or 2 damage. It's nothing like a Fireball in Cat. All the removal is very committal, so either Insect Swarming, killing your own creatures off, or damaging them, or Sacrificial Altar to kill your own creature off. There's no way to just give that extra 2 damage. So this forces me to move my lane down. Luckily I do have the Shredder to kill off the Goblin Scout, which gives me a little bit of tempo. Now I make a risky play here by moving my lane down. This plays into Broken Bridge, but it's not the end of the world because that will take up his whole turn and not allow him to play another creature. And if I Broken Bridge in response, then I'm fine. He chooses not to Broken Bridge, even though the replay shows that he does have it. So he chooses to play the Shredder and attack my Shredder. Basically the only good way I have of dealing with this is a War Tent, which I do not have in my hand. Even then, it's still risky losing a Shredder and a War Tent to another Shredder, which we can see he would have. So here Cucu makes a move I think is really interesting, and something we can learn a lot from. He decides to move the elephant upwards. Now, this is clearly a play around Broken Bridge. And the reason he does this is because Broken Bridge will leave him with just the Shredder alive, whereas I could still play a 2-drop, so I'd have 4 creatures on the board, even though I might lose the Shredder. But that tempo advantage is just too hard for Cat to deal with. Now, I have 2 Campfires in hand, and I decide to go ahead and use them. This allows me to use 7 resources on turn 5, playing a 4 and a 3-drop on the same turn, and this just gives me a huge tempo lead. It's going to be really hard for Cucu to come back. So the Bloodstake Shaman lines up well with the injured Storm Mage Hunter, and the Bloodcore Shaman is going to be looking to do some damage to the Shredder if it stays there. Now Cucu has some options here. As we can see here, he has the Broken Bridge, which you could use on the bottom row. He can also play a Bloodcore Shaman, kill off the Shredder, and get that in range counter. So he chooses to kill the Shredder off first, as he planned beforehand. So when I'm making each of my moves, especially in this game, I'm making sure to play really carefully around Insect Swarm. Now normally when you play a Stronghold Mirror and you both have a Insect Swarm, then if you get blown out by one Insect Swarm, normally it's okay, because if you have your own, that's going to clear the rest of the board and you'll still have good chances. But as you've noticed in this game, I haven't drawn my Insect Swarm yet, and so if I was to get blown out by a value insect swarm, then it would be very hard for me to come back. So I'm making sure that there's no easy way for him to kill off all my creatures, and I maintain a strong board. So he moves his creatures around and doesn't leave me any clear kills. So here I decide I'm just going to flood the board, increase my magic so I can play Damaran next turn if I choose to. And basically just give him no real good attacks. The Storm Mage Hunters aren't going to be doing a lot by themselves. Attacking into these 2 retaliation creatures. So ideally I want to spend my mana well, but also get quite a few creatures out, while I choose to spend the Elephant and not the Blood Snake Shaman. And by playing the Elephant here, it allows me to play the Goblin Scout in the bottom row. And then I play a Harpy just to strengthen this lane here. Looking to get in rage counters again. So this is a really hard board, and once again, one insect swarm isn't gonna ruin my day. And double insect swarm, sure it sucks, but I'm still gonna be in a decent position. But one insect swarm is definitely not gonna do much. So Cucu makes a nice move here and attempts to make a comeback. But it's a really hard spot, especially with that Blood Snake Shaman out on the board. So Cucu tries to go for really clear as many creatures as he can, rather than kill the Blood Snake Shaman. So he goes into the think tank for a little bit here. And Cucu is definitely keeping in mind to play around Insect Swarm, because as you can see, 3 of his creatures already have under 3 health, and that will actually affect his play coming up. So make sure to attack first with the Elephant, as you should. Sacrificial altars my Elephant. And that is in order to kill the Goblin Scout. Now he's being very careful not to give me free enrage counters, so he'll actually move his Storm Mage Hunters away. And I'd like to take a second to pause here and notice that he didn't actually play a 4-drop. Now the reason for this is, with a Blood Snake Shaman on the board, especially even playing the Shredder, I'm going to be able to Insect Swarm, kill 4 creatures, get 4 more counters, and there's no way he can come back from that. So he's playing very carefully, and at 16 health he's not too worried about his health, though he'll need to start being. But this just leaves me with a really nice Damaran, which I can clear 2 creatures off. Now I'd actually like to pause the video here and talk about a mistake I've made. Now I put Damaran on the bottom row. It may not seem like much, the Storm Mage Hunter is only doing 1 damage, but with such a commanding board position, I need to consider how I'm going to lose the game. How is Cucu going to come back? And the best way I see it is double Insect Swarm. So by playing it in the bottom row, all he needs to do is attack, double Insect Swarm, and he still has a decent chance to win the game. If I played it in the top row, then he wouldn't be able to attack it with the Storm Mage Hunter, and would have to instead use a Sacrificial Altar, which we could also get another card out of him, and we could even have the option to target it with Day of the Sanctuary. Now instead, I choose to target the Blood Snake Shaman, playing around Zephyria, which after getting 2 counters is really nice to keep on the board, and helps us win. But I still believe this move was a mistake, as I believe that my best chance of losing the game was double Insect Swarm, and not losing that to Zephyria. So I believe I definitely should have moved to the top lane, and then probably tag it with Day of the Sanctuary to play around Sacrificial Altar as well. Or I can still play around Zephyria and hit it with the Sanctuary. So he doesn't have a lot of good options here. It's pretty much GG from here, since he doesn't have the double Insect Swarm, which would have given him a chance. So he's forced really nothing he can do here. I have Altar of Asher in hand, I have plenty of creatures on the board, and all above 3 health. Don't even have to worry about Blood Snake Shaman Insect Swarm, because there's no initial creature to die to set off the Blood Snake Shaman. and from here it's pretty easy to win. So he plays Zephyr, doing what he can, bouncing back a creature, and making sure to defend. Cucu, interestingly, moves the hunter as he's still looking for a way to win here. He knows he's in a really dire position, and he'll probably die anyway if he keeps it there. So he's looking for maybe he can win if he does this. But as we know from my hand, that there's no way he can win this one as I have the Altar of Asher. So it's as simple as Altar of Asher, attack, destroy the creature, and hit for 6. And there we go. So that's the game. So that was my first video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very new to this, but hopefully you can leave some feedback down below and help me improve. Thank you.